Okay, today, just with the addition, this is the room that we're calling the annex, which is really just kind of a bump out to my son's bedroom. Son's no longer living here, but we still call it his bedroom. But this is the bump out, looking into the closet portion of that, and then over on that side is a kind of a desk alcove, and there will be an ability to put some built-in bookshelves above that. But today, it's hardwood. Love the hardwood. Got it from the Amish, so that was really cool. Handcrafted, if you will, at least using diesel power. And certainly all the skills. That's great stuff going together very well today. Rented a tool. I don't do hardwood all that often, so I had to rent a tool. I don't possess any hardwood stuff like that. So anyway, I've got the air tool, and just to show you, so air coil out the window, goes that way all the way back to my trailer, which is sitting out in the backyard. So I have a 150-foot hose. I got plenty of hose still on that reel yet, and I've got the whole addition there, and that's got to come upstairs. So really happy that the air, you know, I can just keep the air up here, and I don't have a compressor making a lot of noise for the rest of the family today. So very cool stuff. Hardwood, love it. So just a couple of details with this hardwood. Right in here between the existing floor and the new floor, I did not want to, because we have a thickness difference. This is 3/8 hardwood from here. It's a pre-finished hardwood from maybe 20, 30 years ago. We bought the house 15 years ago, and it looked relatively new then, but this bedroom was not used all that much. Other than that, I was able to trim down the threshold so at least I could get an even lay. But otherwise, I'm at 3/4 height here, 3/8 there, and it's not quite, there's a bow right here, and I could not get everything to lay correctly, so I didn't even try and match it all in, and even my hardwood lines are not lining up intentionally, so it doesn't look like I tried and then missed them. But other than that, there will be a threshold here after I get all the trim on the door casing, you know, get the door casing in and the trim. And this is just an entryway. There's no door physically there. I will simply get a probably a 5/4 by 8, 5/4 by 10, if possible, piece of oak, even if I have to go through the Amish to get it. And then what I will do is I will actually create a threshold that sits in here that'll be able to actually set in the piece, in between the pieces, and it'll lay just slightly on the new 3/4, and it'll slay, and I'll have to, you know, basically kind of custom fit it with a profiling jig onto this hardwood because of that bow, and that way I can get it to lay fairly firm on the old hardwood, and then, you know, if necessary, we may be able to run just a very small bead of brown caulk. Otherwise, started with just a 1/2 inch shim to keep it off the wall. And I'm going parallel with this wall because of the new addition is a lot more square than the house itself. And so I'm just running it in that direction. I like the lines that'll actually run, while the line won't continuously run through, I like the lines that are running in the same direction as opposed to changing the direction, which was the other option. But I like this better. So anyway, just getting started here. I got a lot more to go, so I'm probably a 1/5 done. And it's going well, so Well, the hardwood is almost done. You see 1, 2, 3 pieces there. This is just a fall off in a beater block that I have. And of course, I'm done with the air because I can't get the gun in to these corners right there. 1 more piece. And then in the closet, 2 more pieces there. And it couldn't have worked out any better. I have a shim in there, but there's a 1-inch strip that I cut, which I started with. In both cases, I have to get the shim out, but there you have that. And it just so happens the math worked out perfectly to where it's 1 solid piece there, and then I'll end with a solid piece in there with no actual rips again. So, wow. Of course, the gaps allow for movement. That's why I have to remove those shims. So there's, you know, if there's any movement in the floor, it won't buckle. This, of course, is going to be a very wide threshold, which will transition between the two. But this will get finished when we refinish that one. And we're just going to sand it all down and then hit it with clear and, you know, a few coats of polyurethane or whatever the product would be at that point. And then hopefully these floors will blend a little bit better, but I'm not worried about them matching perfectly. So here we go. Desk nook. Closet. Door is going to take about 4 weeks to come in because of labor and COVID and all that kind of stuff, but we're anxious for that. It's been a little while since I've done hardwood, and I am very, very happy to have done this. So, doing hardwood today, I've got just a piece left to install, and I thought I would show you kind of my little job setup. Unfortunately, I was not able to set up inside the house as I wanted to do, but my wife was having none of that dust, and I don't have a real super good dust collection system, unlike a lot of contractors out there, so it would have been a mess. But anyway, so let me show you kind of every cut that I have. Here's what I had to do. So it's like, okay, let's get 70.5 inches. Then we take off like all contractors do when you can't set up right there at the where you're working. I'm heading down the steps here, and I have to spin around the corner. There I go. There is where I kept all the lumber, and I had a lot of lumber there, of course, for the rest of the hardwood. This is just what I have left. Hopefully the Amish will actually take refunds because I've got so much left of it, and the whole bundle of it, really. It's been sitting there for about 2 days, so it acclimated, so it was ready to go. So I just grabbed some lumber, open up the front door, and head on out. Now, it was actually daylight when I started, so now it's night, but the nights are, the days are pretty short because it's actually winter. So here is the infamous job station, and I will say that I really want a Polk total station in this case. So there's all the fall off that I have left. I would set the material down, cut, lay the fall off there. So that's pretty much it, besides a couple of pieces up top. So if you were to go around the corner, my trailer is out back with my semi-compact bench and my table saw for rip cuts. Okay, one last exit video for the hardwood floor, and some days on some jobs I judge the job by the amount of fall off and extra material that I have kicking around that is non-returnable, like this. And this is literally it, folks. This is it. So I consider this a success. Some of these I was actually just using as a pad, so I wrote on the backs. And then just all that little scrap there. So these probably would have been usable pieces. They're over 8 inches long. One of them I did use as a beater block, so that wouldn't be non-functional anyway. But there you go. That's the entire set of fall off. I'm going to call this a success. Really had a good time hardwood flooring it today. And I will say, it's out here. It's dark. It's not all that laid out, but of course it's winter. And I will say that there's a scent of wood smoke in the air, and it's actually convenient to be outside in a t-shirt if you're just running in and out. So wow, just nice little setup here, and really happy to have done the hardwood today.